My great-great-grandpa played Major League Baseball. He played for the Boston Braves back in the 1930s. Actually, he was at one point on the same team as Babe Ruth. So that love for baseball kind of trickled down throughout my entire family. And that went to my grandpa, my dad, my brother, and myself. I originally was going to college to be a teacher. I figured out really quick that was not for me when I did my first internship out of school. So I kind of shifted gears and just got my degree, which at that time was in major in education, minor in journalism, and rolled with that for a little while. Didn't know what I wanted to do, talked to some family members, got some ideas, and after a couple years after I graduated, they were the ones that were like, hey, you know, back in Jacksonville, which is where I went to high school, back in Jacksonville, there's a radio station there that's at, you know, it's a Jags affiliate station. There's a lot of well-known at this time. It was like Jeff Prosser and Dan Hicken, my grandparents loved. So they loved listening to him. And I applied for the internship, got it, worked through the football season of 2015. And from there, the rest is history pretty much. When I was an intern, I worked with Tom Fridley, which a lot of the interns go through Tom here. He's amazing, and he is able to teach you everything you know on all ends of radio, which you don't get maybe in some aspects of it. If you're working the board, you're not really getting the commercials and the promo side of things. So with him, I got a little bit of all of that, because when you think of radio, you think of just talking on air, and it ends up turning out that it's a lot more than that. So in my head, I thought, well, you know, if this isn't working, if I can't technically make it and be on air and have my voice, I could do a lot of things in the background that still is supplying a lot of the pieces that put radio together. So that progressed into the full-time, 5 days a week. I slowly started learning how to do the sports updates, and from sports updates is when I joined the drill in the morning and would jump on air with them occasionally, do my updates. From there, I started filling in on Helmets and Heels, and that's really when things started taking off. I was learning a ton from Lauren and Donna, and Lauren Rue helped me a ton at that time, because she was the one that was kind of, when she wasn't able to do it, I would replace her, or if someone was on vacation. And that progressed to ended up being a full-time thing, which was my main goal. Once I got here and heard about Helmets and Heels when I first came to 1010, that was the goal that I wanted to do. So now that is it, and now here I am doing, you know, updates throughout the day and doing updates for the Players Championship and co-hosting for Helmets and Heels, and now I also run all of our social media accounts, which is awesome too. It's a full-time job for sure and keeps you busy, but with a place like this, there's always news that needs to be shared, and sometimes if I can't maybe voice my opinion on air, it's nice to be able to do it through the social media aspect of it. 1010XL for me is, it's hard to even explain how much it means to me, because it was just so much growth for me. Starting here when I came and I was 25 years old, and now here I am 31 years old, and the amount that I've just learned and the relationships that I've grown with the people here, and that goes from Beef Dan and Jeff in the morning being the first ones to really show me the ropes and be kind in doing it. You know, you kind of, I was terrified at first. I was terrified being like, oh my gosh, I have to sit with Dan and Jeff, and they're gonna be so mean and so rugged, and they're gonna judge me, and if I mess something up, it's going to be awful. And it wasn't that at all. The first update I ever did, they stepped outside of the studio and said, we'll give you a minute just because we can tell you're nervous. So, you know, take a breath, you've got it, you're good to go. And that's pretty much how everyone is here. Everyone's very encouraging. Everyone wants you to succeed. They want you to do bigger and better things, and they want to be able to help you. It's not a kind of industry, well, the industry itself is very competitive. This place is very supportive. And I think we're really lucky to have that, because it is hard. It's hard for anybody to do this, and it's hard to continue to grow, but it's even harder sometimes for women to do that. And I think that's a big part of it. Helmets and Heels gives us the voice, and not all women have that opportunity to be able to have the 2 hours a week to sit there and have their opinion heard, and it's for women, me, Donna, Lauren, and Mia, all being able to talk weekly about a whole different kind of view than you normally hear on the rest of the shows for the rest of the week. And it's something that I don't know I'll ever truly be able to grasp how important it's been in my career, because who knows, I don't know what will be going on in 5 years, but I do know that the start of my career was 1010XL and helmets and heels, and there'll never be a place that'll be able to mean as much to me as this does.